Previously on the last Pokemon challenge.
Oh, it's Minging Lady.
And coming up, you can tell he's fake because he's balding. Welcome back to another Pokemon Emerald 4 Moves challenge. I'm like a dog with a bone. I've had two fairly rough challenges with Pokemon Emerald, and I am determined to get a smooth one across the line. Today we are running Gengar. Gengar has a massive special attack, and it also has fairly good speed. So I'm hoping that those two together will combine for a fairly smooth challenge. Now, I didn't know what to give the rival. Nothing seemed really good for the rival to have, and to be fair, it doesn't really matter too much. So I've given a Mudkip, and that does seem to be a fairly smart move, because we'll have Ice Punch and Fire Punch for the Trico line, and we'll have Psychic for the Torchic line. So Mudkip is the best of a bad lot there. Now, I don't know how this challenge is going to go. I've done zero prep work for Gengar. Even with the regular 4 moves challenges, I at least look at the full learn set and I sit on it for a couple of moments. But pretty much 5 minutes after I'd finished recording the last challenge, which was, I've forgotten already, who did we just run? It was Ampharos in Pokemon Emerald. I decided, nope, I'm going in for another one. So this is my third video of today's recording session. Let's hope the run fatigue does not kick in. I'm hoping, if anything, I will be very warmed up now. That is the plan. Whether it comes to fruition is a different matter. I never have recorded more than 3 videos in a day before now. Don't know if that's going to change today, because the next run is going to be a Fire Red run, and it's going to be the start of the legendary part of the channel, where we're going legendary for August, because August is the channel's anniversary month, and also I want to get them out the way, because that way there's very little pressure on me to do well, at least in Generation 3. In Generation 2 it's a different matter, but we shall see. Now, it's at this point in the challenge I have to do the YouTuber thing every time, from time to time, and I'm going to say, if you are enjoying the videos, please do make sure to leave a cheeky little like on this one. Let YouTube know that these challenges are worth watching. I would say let me know that you're enjoying the Pokemon Emerald content, but YouTube now has hidden the likes and dislikes in the back end, so I can't see how many people like and how many people dislike anymore. So I'll tell you what, instead, let me know via a comment if you're having fun in Emerald and seeing me struggle is amusing to you, because then I'll carry on struggling in Emerald. I just won't ever get better, and I'll do it out of spite, just for you. Anyway, let's take on Team Aqua. He's got a Poochyena. We'll use Thunderbolt on it, we'll explode it, and oh, bit of Poochyena debris there. Probably best to step carefully. It's not like we have to come through here a second time later on, and a third time after that. We'll have to watch out for the Poochyena bits that are now all over the blooming place. Let's get the Ether, let's get another encounter. We could have picked up Repels, but we don't normally get that many encounters through here. Now, I've got to remember that the Dark type does actually exist in Gen 3, unlike Gen 2, where it's just alluded at. And you see like 4 Dark type Pokemon, so that is something we're going to have to take into consideration. We'll get our berries here, and then we'll do our regular stuff that we need to pick up here in Rustboro City. Starting off with HMO1 and the Scythe. Then we'll grab the Rentalabra, that will come in handy, as well as taking a quick PP pit stop. And now we'll do our regularly scheduled beating up of Roxanne and her Pokemon. She's got virtually no special defense, so I am hoping this will go one way and one way only. And that way is very well indeed. We're going to Psychic most things, and we're probably going to Thunderbolt the Nose Pass. That is the plan. Whether I change my mind in the next 2 minutes or so is anybody's guess, really. And I am just trying to look on the learn set. Yes, Thunderbolt is stronger than Psychic. Always feels like they should be equally as strong as each other, but that is not the case. Thunderbolt has 5 more base power. Let's see, how much does Thunderbolt do? About half. Is she going to heal? She's not going to heal, hopefully. Let's get through this Nose Pass, just like that. Roxanne has gone down, and we get the Stone Badge in a time of 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Shut up. We don't care. We're leaving. I wish we could leave and advance the storyline without having to go over there, but that is not the case. We have to become a postman like we always do. Youngster Joey, you've got a Machamp. We've got Psychic. It's going to go one way for you, and that way is badly. Jen the Gengar is going to do very, very well. Let's stick on a Repel now, though. We didn't buy Repels. It's fine. We'll go through the grass. We won't really have to worry too much, because what we can do is we can grab the scythe and we can just chop a little bit of grass and then see hardly any encounters in this area. Doesn't matter if you've got Repels or not. We just need to remember to get them on our pass back. He's going to rock us hard, so we're going to hit him with some Psychic Energy for threatening us with a good time. Just like that, Hiker Devan goes down. Not Devon. We cannot have Devon because we have the Devon goods in this challenge. Let's battle this grunt here. He's got a Poochyena. We've got Thunderbolt. Very, very, very easy. We get the Devon goods, not to be confused with the Devan goods. We get out of here, and then we'll teleport back to Rustboro. Quick PP pit stop. Not that we really need to do it here, but I like doing it here anyway. And then into the Pokemon. Yes, you. Give me some Repels. We'll get just 14 of them. Number of love, because we love our Gengar. And then we mustn't forget to advance the storyline either. There we go. Yes, we've got an Abra. We can go anywhere we like, and we always end up in front of you. Yes, we'll give the letter to your son. It's not like you've got anything better to do, just sitting at your desk with no papers or no PC. You are just flexing there for the status, you horrible, horrible man. Yes, we'll call you. We'll call you so that we can call you nasty names, you. Yeah, that and that. You know what you're thinking. Anyway, let's leave. May's going to bump into us next, isn't she? Can we stealth past her? No, we can't. May, for that, I'm going to have to battle you. You're not going to like this. Starting off with Torkoal. Goodbye, Torkoal. What have you got next? Mudkip. Goodbye, Mudkip. That is May defeated. And now we've got to watch out. There are Poochyena bits still in the forest. They haven't cleaned it up yet. So we've got to tread very carefully, make sure we don't step on anything. And then we'll get over to Mr. Briney's house. Getting good at timing, Mr. Briney. Now we're going to get another phone call because we are the most popular person in all of Hoenn. So much so that we get phone calls every 2 minutes. And we're sent on delivery quests because we're just that trustworthy. Let's go and beat up some fighting types now, shall we? That seems like a very, very good idea. There's someone down here. Are you going to protect? I've got a feeling you're going to protect. You didn't protect. Very, very good. Now, there are 2 people up here, aren't there? These are the first supposed tag team, but we've only got a Gengar, so it's not going to happen as a tag team. Instead, oh, this is Brendan. Don't forget Brendan. Not Brendan, but Brendan, because Brendan is the player character. This is Takao. He has a Machop. And Black Belt Nob has not been invited in to this gym, by the way. Instead, Black Belt Nob is, I believe, north of Rustboro. He's, for some reason, been exiled. Maybe he was a bit of a knob to people. So they decided to get rid of him. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know what Nob did. Maybe you do know what Nob did. Let me know if you do know what Nob did. Let's move on to Brawley. 1 hit on his Machop. Meditite comes out and goes away. Makuhita also goes away, growing up to level 21 there. And we do get our second badge, the Knuckle Sandwich badge, in a time of 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Did I miss any trainers? I might have missed a couple of trainers, but it doesn't matter. We still got the victory nonetheless. Let's actually do a PP pit stop now before I forget, because I want to take on the Tentacool man, rather. I think it would be a good idea to take on at least this Fisher. Easy KO for a little bit more experience. We'll avoid the other one today, though. Hello, Hiker. Give us a lantern, please. Thank you very much. You are glorious. You should be in every region giving out lanterns. Repel on. Let's get through this cave. Always half forget the escape rope and then double back at the last moment to get it. That is an item that I don't really think about in Gen 2. or even Gen 3, because we get the escape rope far before we need it. Whereas in this generation, there is a single cave which we need to get out of before we get the key escape rope. So yeah, I've got to remember to pick that up. And now we'll run round here. Stephen is going to give us his letter, and we shall make our absence as well. We'll bump into him later, and he'll be as nonsensical as ever. And with that, it's time to not battle a trainer. Instead, it is time to chat with Mr. Briny again. We're making him sail here, there, and everywhere today as well. He's involved in our shenanigans. We're going to go in here, and we are going to beat up some Pokemon. Because I like beating up Pokemon in this bit. It's a lot of fun. Can't get poisoned today either, which is brilliant, because I did end up poisoned in one of the last times I was in here. But not today, because we are part poison type. I saw a post, actually, that mentioned that Game Freak rarely acknowledge that Gengar is the poison type, and that is very true. Game Freak doesn't really ever draw attention to the fact that this is a poison type Pokemon. It's always mained as a ghost type, which is a shame, because I think it's a very, very good poison type Pokemon. There's Roxanne giving us her phone number, as always. We talk to Fake Stern here. You can tell he's fake because he's balding. And then we'll go into the observatory. No, the other thing, the museum. Is that what it's called? I've forgotten what it's called. Anyway, he's still a wimp. Let's take on some grunts. You've got a Carvana, we've got Thunderbolt. And you're down. Who's next? Who wants some Thunderbolts to the face? You do? Have a Thunderbolt. And you've got a fish as well? Its bits are now sprayed everywhere. Better get the cleaning team in. Maybe Captain Stern is also part of the cleaning team. We get the Devon goods handed over to him, and we shall make our absence. Yes, we're ruthless. We beat up fish for a living. Goodbye. Let's do a very quick heal as well, because we've got plus on minor next, and I can't stand those little creatures. Hopefully Psychic will one-shot them. There's Birch on his 1 day out a week trip over to Slateport. Not sure what he's doing there. And yes, we can one-shot the little rats. Thank goodness for that. Very happy about that. Always like one-shotting these little things. They're so pesky. They're just pests. At least they don't have static, because they've got plus and minus to deal with. And I'm sure if it's a double battle, they could have something useful about them, but because it's a single battle, they've got nothing. Let's Ice Punch this Voltorb as opposed to using Psychic. I want to hold on to Psychic now for the more meaningful Pokemon. Everything here is probably going to do fairly well against the Makuhita. Grab the PP up. We'll stick that in a move. I've not decided which one yet. Didn't watch where I was going there. I was thinking about May. We'll get some cherry berries, and we'll also get the leper berries. Very happy with the amount of leper berries in this region. They've done very well in making the leper berries accessible, unlike in Generation 2, where I can only think of 2 spots to get a mystery berry in Generation 2, whereas in this gen you get them up the absolute bloomin' wazoo. Right, it's time for Halotad and Lombre. Lombre goes down. Marshtomp does a little bit of damage, but not too much. Slugma does nothing, and that's May done again. We get the item finder. We're never going to use that. It's just taking up bag space. Let's battle the Triathlete here with her Magnemite. We'll flex on it by using Thunderbolt, and then we'll also take on Edward with his Abra, and we'll flex on that by using Psychic. Elixir, he barely knows her. Into Morville we go. First thing we'll do is grab the big hammer. We will need that in order to smash the rocks that are going to be in our way. We'll go and do a quick PP pit stop because we are running out of Psychic, and Psychic is our main move at the moment. We will go and grab ourselves an Acro Bike so that we can grab the rare candy next to Fortree. And now we'll make Wally very, very miserable. He's got a Roltz. He had a Roltz. Roltz is no more. And with that, we can make it into gym number 3. This is Watson's Electric-type gym, so we're going to start off by battling a Psychic fighting Pokemon. Very, very electric. I still think it's her personality that lets her in. Vivian's a right hoot in the post-game. Yeah, she doesn't show her personality when it's serious, but as soon as like the league is over, then she lets her hair down and she has fun. Angelo, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. He likes to be fun, but then as soon as the cameras are off, he's a right miserable git. And then this is Sean, and I like Sean because one of my very dearest friends is called Sean. So I'm not going to make fun of Sean, because that would feel like I'm making fun of a very close friend of mine. One last trainer here. It's Ben with his Zigzagoon and his Gulpin. And that brings us on to Watson. Gym leader number 3 of 8. He is an electric type specialist. He's going to lead with Voltorb. We one-hit the Voltorb. We will then one-hit the Electrike as we grow up to 28. We will then set fire to the Magneton and melt it down for scrap. And then it's probably going to be a 2-hit on this Manectric. Hopefully we don't get stalled here. I was a little bit overconfident. And we get crit. Of course we get crit. That was just a little bit of bad luck, really, wasn't it? We have a Cherry Berry. We'll equip the Cherry Berry. And we'll try that again. Hopefully this time we won't get the absolutely terrible luck that we got in the first attempt. Goodbye to Voltorb. Goodbye to Electrike. On to Magneton. We say goodbye to that. Here comes Manectric. Thunderwave has paralysed us, but then we should be able to Psychic. And we're out of Psychic. Please don't get fully paralysed. You've crit again. Scam artist, but we scam you back. Ha! Dino badge acquired in 15 minutes and 58 seconds. Goodness me, we're getting some really rotten luck at times in Emerald at the moment. Let's hope that we can improve that as we start making our way up north now. Are we going to get an encounter? No, we're not. There, the luck has balanced out. One reset for not getting an encounter. We don't get either of those trainers either. Maybe things are starting to look on the up. Now, we must remember as well to not go in any of the Pokemon Centres in the near future. We want to try and use our teleport spots to our advantage. And with that in mind, we're going to take on some of these hikers now as opposed to later, so that we don't get caught by them, and they're fairly good experience. 3 Geodude gives us half a level, but Trent does give us his phone number as well, so maybe that was a bad idea. Numel, we've got Psychic for you today. Machop, we've also got Psychic for you. So we get through Hiker Bryce. Let's stick on a Repel here. Maybe one still lingers. Who knows? It does still linger. That's fine. We can stick on a Repel now as we take on this horrible twosome of people. Hiker Bryant with his Numel there, getting us up to level 30. And he's got a Slugma, so he's not all bad. And don't forget, we are going to get a heal in a moment as well. We're going to try and avoid touching any of these Pokemon like the plague. We are... Hello? Who are you? Wally, what do you want? Oh, you want revenge? How about outside the Pokemon League in about an hour? How does that sound? Yep, you happy with that? Perfect. Get a little heal from this lady here as well. And let's pick up, not the Oran berries. I don't know what a raspberry does. Even now, I keep forgetting to look it up. Wingull, we're not going to be mean to you. Brooke, we're just going to use our softest moves possible, except on Roselia, because I've still got bitterness about Roselia from many, many, many years ago, when I first played Generation 3 and I first encountered Poison Points. That has been seared on my brain forever. I am not happy with it. It was very horrible seeing Poison Points. It's one of the worst things Game Freak has ever bloody done. Let's get past them. We don't want to go in there. We do, however, want to go in here. We'll get ourselves the escape rope so that now we can leave caves whenever we want. And we'll start making our way down this weird bendy route. You're not contracted for this run. Go away. Oh, that could have been a Zangoose. This is the best route in Hoenn, of course, because you do get Zangoose here. So, of course, I'm going to be a little bit biased towards that. We'll Fire Punch the Geodude just to show this Hiker what for. We'll Fire Punch his Numel as well. Lucas, we showed you. Now, you always love to catch me on the way up to Steven, so I'm going to take the initiative here and beat up your Pokemon now, Angelina. How about that? And you, I've got nothing bad to say about you, Lenny, because you go Yodel-Yahoo, and that's the most fun we see in all of Generation 3. I will yodel back to you one day. Not today. This is my third run of the day. My voice cannot handle it. The Repel gamble paid off today as well, you'll notice. No encounters for these 20 steps or whatever it is in the cave. Let's organise this bag a little bit as well. Rentalabra escape rope. We use the escape rope, then we use the Rentalabra, and we go for another PP heal. And now it's time to go exactly where we've just bloody been, because that's what this game likes. It likes doing the backtracking. Nope, we don't want to battle you. Just pick a friggin' side, for goodness sake. Let's... No. Repel, not Abra. They both start with R. Are we going to get the hiker? Please get the hiker. No hiker. This run's cursed. Should give up now. If we don't get the hiker, it means that we're going to get absolutely balls luck later on. So yeah, that's my current superstition anyway. We'll see whether that does come to fruition. I'm kind of annoyed as well that I couldn't justify a stab move on this Gengar because we've got absolutely pathetic physical attack. 65 in Hoenn is not good for an attacking stat. So instead we're going for 4 special moves. Let's not use a psychic type move on a Poochyena. That is a silly idea, Squidge. You should know better than that. And again, you should know better than to use Thunderbolt on a Numel. One more trainer to go. This is a Maxi. Maxi is our next... I was going to call him a gym leader. He's not a gym leader, is he? He's just the next pest. And he led with Mightyena. One shot on the Mightyena. One shot on the Numel. Not on the Numel, on the Zubat. It's going to be a 2-shot on the Camerupt. And that is that for Maxi. Archie comes in because he's fashionably late. Must have got on a British train lately. They've been terrible for me. And now we're not going to battle him today. We're going to go there. That's the burn heal that we're not going to pay attention to this time. We didn't get hit by that camper. And that does mean we can now grab the charcoal from here. Even though I didn't use it in the last challenge, I still looked it up as to where it was so that I could pick it up in future. We are now into our next gym, though. And this one should be fairly trivial as well. This is the Fire-type gym, so we're going to use Ice Punch on a Numel, because Numel is part ground. Have you got a Numel as well? We'll keep on Ice Punching. We've got plenty of Ice Punch PP. Trying to think of what to use the PP up on as well, and I've still not decided now. Let's Ice Punch this Kecleon. Feint Attack was a little bit mean, mate. You didn't have to do that. We're going to have to use one of our Soda Pops. Wanted to drink those as celebration afterwards. Let's Ice Punch this Numel, get rid of that. Any more trainers want to be beaten up? You! What do you have? I swear if it's another Numel, it's a Slugma. We will take a Slugma. Slugma's at least different. We've not seen one of those. Anyone else? You! You're a battle girl, aren't you? Bloody Meditite. What is it with gyms and Meditites in this generation? I seriously don't know why they've got so many of them. Maybe they were on offer somewhere. Maybe they were a middle of Lidl type deal. Anyway, on to Flannery. She doesn't have a title card for no good reason. And she leads with Numel. Ice Punch the Numel and we've frozen it. It feels very, very counterintuitive to freeze a fire type, but there you go. Psychic on the Slugma. We'll Psychic the Camerupt as Sunny Day comes out to play. And that just leaves Torkoal. We'll Thunderbolt the Torkoal. Torkoal as it almost knocks us out, but it doesn't. And that is the Heat badge acquired. TM50 as well from Flannery. Let's get out of here. May's going to make another appearance. She is on the frame with her pay rate for this challenge, of course. We are now going to Rentalabra back to Moorville City. We'll take another heal here. And we'll start making our way over to Verdanturf Town. You, I don't want to battle you. I don't want to battle you either. Definitely don't want to battle you. Absolutely don't want to battle you. I don't want to battle anyone, in fact. Except this hiker. This hiker's cool. We like hikers. Hikers are fun and jolly. Look at them. They look really happy. They've got a big smile on their face. They've got a silly hat indoors. What more do you want? Look at him. He is the peak of Pokemon trainer perfection. There's an ether up there, don't you know? We figured that out in the last one. Oh, it's even a max ether. There you go. If you're struggling for items. Oh, bloody hell, I forgot to pick up the super repels, didn't I? It's fine. We'll pick some up later. We don't have too far to go. We can deal with standard repels. I say that as we get whispered. We'll pick some more standard repels up in here. We'll do the repel of shame. Yes, 21, that'll do. It just means we have to menu ever so slightly more often. Now, do watch out, there are still Poochyena bits. They've not bothered cleaning it up yet. There we go, and now we will go over the beach and hope we don't get any trainers this time. We do get trainers this time, but if we time it correctly, we do not, in fact, get trainers. Right, into a gym where we have an immunity to it, so this will only go well, right? That's the plan anyway. We'll see if it comes to fruition. We'll take on all trainers, seeing as we have the immunity. You have got a Spinder, we have got a Thunderbolt, but we're confused. Why do you have healing items? Doesn't matter, you've wasted your money there, but good for you, I suppose. You have got a Zangoose. I am terrified of Zangoose. I know how powerful Zangoose is. What are you going to hit us with while you set up? That's what I want to know. Do you have a move that would work, or are you just setting up for the sake of using a move? Wigglytuff is annoying. Wigglytuff got Igglybuff as opposed to a proper third stage evolution. Thereby, I am not a fan of Wigglytuff, unfortunately. Delcatty goes down here. And now we'll take on this lady. No, we won't. We've already taken her on. So we will take on this gentleman instead. This is George with a Slackoth. We will Ice Punch said Slackoth, and it will go away. And now we've got 2 more trainers, I think. Maybe just 1. I might have miscounted here. Vigoroth gets pumped. We don't really care because we can crit. We get the focus energy, not you. Have we battled you? Yes, we have, because you're Zangoose lady. Right, let us use one of our ethers. Or should I say our only ether on Thunderbolt. We could go down here. I hope we don't, but we could. This is Norman. He leads with Spinder. He led with Spinder. Vigoroth second. Vigoroth goes down. Here comes Slacking. Psychic. He's yawned. And we have fallen asleep. Let's hope this is a short battle. Do we have any wake yourself up berries? No, we do not. I don't know what the wake yourself up berry is, but it would be nice to have one. Thunderbolts on the Spinder. On to the Vigoroth we go. On to Slacking. Let's use a Thunderbolt. A critical hit. We have been made drowsy, but we only have the Linoon left to go. Belly Drum, Facade's not going to do anything. Headbutt's not either. We get through Norman. Easy battle once we got that little bit of luck. We get Facade, that move that screwed us over in the last one, so we don't really like you, Norman, for that. We're blaming you. It wasn't my silly mistake at all. We'll get the raft from Wally's father. Is that his father? He looks like Wally's father anyway. We'll use a repel here because we don't have supers to get this rare candy. And then I'm going to remember to get the rare candy in Moorville as well. It's just down here. Going to pick up some Nana berries as well because I don't know what they do and I might find out if I read them in the menu. Down here there is a rare candy. There are 13 rare candies in total actually in Generation 3, or at least in Fire Red, not Fire Red, Emerald, that I like to pick up. There are 14 semi-easily accessible ones if you include the Trick House, or at least that's my count. There may be others, but these are the ones that I like picking up. I will at some point remember to keep all of them in a video because it's probably useful information if you're relatively new to Emerald solo running. It does make the world of difference as well towards the end of the game. If you save on to your rare candies, then you're in for a much better time. We'll take on Rose and we'll also take on DeAndre at this point. DeAndre's got an Aron. I like Aron. Aron is a cool Pokemon. Aron just needs a better evolution than Aggron, unfortunately, because it's not that strong and not that powerful. Someone left an iron in that rock, and here's Steven. I said we were going to meet him again, and I didn't lie. And in fact, we did meet him again. We've got some really good berries coming up as well in this part. We got the 2 citruses there. No, we don't want to battle you. I said we don't want to battle you. I said we don't want to battle you. Get the bloody message. Another repel. There is a super repel. Oh, no, we don't want to bump into you, mate. Is that the super repel? Yes, it is. We'll pick that up. That will save our skin a little bit until we can get to a Pokemart. We do want to pick up these 2 berries here. We've got Citrus and Leper. Probably the best berry bush in all of Generation 3 there. We'll avoid him and her. And now we're nearly at the Weather Institute already. I've been too busy waffling again and didn't realise just how far we'd made it through in a single clip here. This is more like a VOD at this point, isn't it? I hope you're having fun regardless. We have made it to the Weather Institute. We'll do a cheeky little heal here. And now we'll take on some trainers. We'll start off with this Carvana and we'll Thunderbolts to get to level 38. And you know what? We'll probably take on quite a few of them in here because they're all going to be weak to Electric, I'm assuming. And if they're not weak to Electric, they might as well be weak to Electric because they're just weak in general. We have this Grunt here with the Poochyena. Does he have a second Pokemon? He does. A Carvana. How imaginative of you. Do you have a Poochyena and a Carvana as well? You've got a Zubat, so no. What's your second one? Is it a Poochyena? Yes, it is. It was going to be Zubat, Poochyena, and Carvana, or some combination of them, wasn't it? One last Grunt to go, with a Poochyena, just to be different, and a Zubat, just to be different as well. And a Carvana. You've got the unholy trifecta, goodness me. Let's take on Smelly Shelly. Maybe she's got something different. Maybe she's even got a Mightyena. We shall have to see. She does. How nice for her. It's gone. Goodbye, Shelly. And now we can leave. Did we get the cast form this time? No, we did not. Let's take another quick heal in this bed, because you can sleep in beds in this generation. And now we've got the penultimate May battle. I know it's come around really quickly, hasn't it? She leads with Lombre. Thunderbolt doesn't do too much, and Nature Power did even less than what we did. On to the Slugma. It goes down in one. Marshtomp's next. What should we do about Marshtomp? Probably a Psychic to the face. Mudsport, we don't really care. That was a terrible bit of battling, mate. Get good. Your father's the regional professor. You can probably afford lessons. Maybe, actually. Hoenn really underfunds the professors, so May doesn't even get a chance to get any education at all. And we're being unduly harsh on her. I don't know, maybe I'm just making things up as I go along in these challenges, as I so often do. There is, however, something I'm not making up. There's a rare candy up here, so let's procure it, so that we don't have to come back for it later. Another repel stuck on, and we get to see Steven again. I know, we're really happy about this. We've got a Kecleon in front of us. We are going to try and two-shot this Kecleon, but we cannot two-shot it. But it's just screaming bloody murder at us. I think I would too, if my camouflage had suddenly been busted like that. Totally understand why you're screaming murder at us. Into the Pokemart we go. Do you sell Super Repels? We'll only buy 10, because we're going to get Max Repels in Cove Lily of Lily Cove in a moment. But I do want some longer-lasting Repels for the route before it. And into gym number 6 we go. Umberto is a cool name for cool people. So why do you have that name, Umberto? That's also a hurricane name that's in the Atlantic Hurricane list, I do believe. Or is that Umberto and I'm mispronouncing it? Either way, it is a very cool name for a very uncool trainer there. Now, this is going to be a bit of a sweep, isn't it, against poor old Jared. Don't even need to use our quad super effective move. We'll just Psychic on this Swablu as well. We'll Psychic the other one. And then she's got 3 of the same. Must have had a deal on Middle of Little again. Let's go and do this little bit of fun movement. And I'm going to try and not mess up the children's puzzle today. That is my one aim in here. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But we still have another couple of battles to go until we will find out once and for all. We're going to use Ice Punch against the Doduo. And then we are going to use Thunderbolt against the Pelipper. I was trying not to reveal Thunderbolt against that Pelipper, and then I meant to use Thunderbolt on turn number 1, but it didn't quite pan out that way. So we're going to have to beat up Tropius for our little bit of a mistake there. So here, what we do is we do that, then that, and that, and then if we move correctly, we end up in front of Winona. She is a flying type specialist. She leads with Swablu. We won't hold it against her. One hit on the Swablu. Out comes the Tropius. Yes, get your quad weak to ice out first. Nope, we don't want to use that on that. We want to use this on that. Just like that. We'll set fire to Skarmory and it'll go down. And then Altaria will Ice Punch and it will keel over. And that means we have the Feather Badge in a time of 33 minutes and 57 seconds. The time is running today, so we actually get an accurate time. Fancy that, having an accurate time on your challenge runs. Couldn't be me in the last one at this point in the challenge. Let's do another PP pit stop because it does like draining the PP. Tell you what, I'll make my way over to Lily Cove now, and then we'll meet back up for the final May battle. It is going to be a momentous occasion, so we'd better meet back up for that. And now, after traversing most of the previous routes, we get to say hello to Minging Lady again. Hello, Minging Lady. You're not going to do very well here, are you? You're going to stall us for no good reason. And Endure is one of the most annoying bloody moves in all of the game. You're minging. We're not minging, you are. Max Revive will sell that for some money in a moment. Quick heal here in the Pokemon Center. And then we'll get on with battling May for one final time. This time she's going to lead with her Tropius, so we're going to use an Ice Punch. Then she's got a Ludicolo, so we are going to also use an Ice Punch. Growing up to level 44 as Slugma comes out to play Psychic on that. And then we shall Ice Punch the Marshtomp. Still as miserable as ever, May, there with your battling capabilities. Leave. We'll battle Wally instead. It's absolutely fine. Let's sell this Nugget. Let's sell this Iron as well. There's no sense in boosting up that. And let's procure ourselves a bunch of Max Repels. There we go, we don't need to worry about encounters anymore in this challenge. Let's stick these Max Repels up at top slot. I was going to sell that Max Revive, wasn't I? But it doesn't really matter, we don't need any more items. And now because I've battled most of the people here in Spinner Hell, we can just leave. We don't need to do any fancy movement, because we've already taken all the battles we wanted to try and avoid by doing that. Up to Mount Pyre we go. How egregious that the repel runs out just as we're staring down a patch of grass in the face. What's this item? A max potion. That could come in useful. We'll take it. We'll follow the ominous arrow of doom there to our doom here. We've got more Team Aqua. That means we're going to have Thunderbolt getting its money's worth for a little bit here. So yeah, this is going to be very, very, very trivial and very no reason to exist. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Non-something. Nonsensical, maybe. Just a waste of everyone's time. At least we've got a Whalmer. Whalmer makes me happy. And then we've got a Zubat. Zubat makes me less happy. Although I've never been one of those people who's hated Zubat quite as much as other people do. I kind of like Zubat in a weird way. I think it's a cool Pokemon. It's just found too often for people to really appreciate. It's a little bit of satiation of that Zubat. Oh, do you mind? We've got that same patch of grass again. It's a cursed patch of grass. Let's go and grab this rare candy that we need to pick up down here. And then I'll make my way in and see Magma hideouts where I'll inevitably get lost for a little while, as is often the case. So I will do that and we'll meet back up in just a moment. I hope you're sitting down. I only made one wrong turn in this cave, and I picked up all the items that I wanted to pick up as well. I'm counting that as an absolute victory. Now we've got Maxi to contend with. He led with Mighty Enna, it went down in one. Crobat goes down in much the same way. On to the camera-ups. We'll Psychic it. Earthquake can't hit. Ha, you're silly. Are you really going to do that, Maxi? It looks like you are. Oh, you silly sausage. We get through Maxi. PP up on Thunderbolt. PP Max, which I did pick up on Psychic. Is that the correct move? I don't know. Is that the move I'm taking? Absolutely. Escape rope the heck out of here. And now I believe we need to go back to Slateport, where we need to go and first of all replenish our PP. I think that'd be a very good idea, because we have a cutscene to watch. We don't actually play the video game at this point. We just watch the video game happen in front of us. Oh look, they've stolen a boat. You need to invest in better security. I'll tell you what, we'll go to Lily Cove. We'll try and catch up with them. But I have a feeling we won't be able to. Let's go into the hideout here. I do like this hideout. I think it's really silly and daft, and that's how I like my Pokemon games. I thought I was wearing a repel, so I was just getting ready to stick on a repel, but obviously it must have worn off a little bit sooner than I thought. This hideout I am less confident about than the Magma hideout. I feel fairly blooming good about my navigational skills in the magma hideouts. This one, not a Scooby, mate. Not an absolute Scooby. I'm making it up as I go along each time. I'm just trying to follow the trail of grunts and hope that it leads me to some kind of victory. And it's working for me fairly well at the moment, I've got to say. A lot better than I expected it to. And when I first started employing this strategy here in the Aqua Hideout. I know there are probably useful items as well, but just getting through is difficult enough. So at some point I will learn the items. At some point is not going to be for quite some time. This is looking like we are roughly on the right lines here. Let's see, we've got a Zubat to contend with. That means we're definitely on the right lines. Do we have the double people coming up? We do have the double people coming up. And then I think it's going to be the Mats battle, and we're almost done with the Aqua Hideouts. Probably a more efficient way than the way I've taken. But this is the way that I decided to go this time, just following gut instinct. Yes, here he is. This is Matt. He has a Mightyena, so we are going to use a Thunderbolt on the Mightyena to knock it out in one. And then we'll do exactly the same against the Golbat. Matt is defeated, but the ship has sailed. We are going to have to get out of here. Is this the way out? I'm hoping this is the way out. This is not, in fact, the way out. This, however, is the way out. The rappel has worn off. We don't mind. We can stick on another rappel. And now we've got the dreaded Tate and Liza coming up. I do think the strategy of going all the way to Pacifidlog first has been working for us quite well. So I think I'm going to employ that in this one as well, because we are going to be weak to the Psychic type, don't forget. We're not going to be able to be hit by Earthquake because we have Levitate, so that may give us a free turn, but we're definitely not going to be out of the woods with this one. I think it's going to be a fairly tricky battle. We are going to take a very quick heal here, though, to replenish our power points for the next little while. Because, you know, we want to make all of those presentations. We've got a bird keeper here. He's got a Swellow and a Skarmory. I remembered a team. Slowly getting there. What's your name? I didn't read your name, but I remember your party. You've got a Manectric. We've got a Psychic for your Manectric. And you've got a Linoon. We've got a Thunderbolt for your Linoon. Another rare candy acquired. That one's quite an easy one to forget, so I'm always happy about getting that fairly soon. And now I think you've got to go east to go west in this game. That's what I seem to remember from the last challenge, so I'm going to employ that to start going west. We're not going to try and avoid too many trainers either. We would quite appreciate as many levels as we can get. So if this bloke would want to try and engage us in battle, I'd be very, very grateful. Ice Punch on your Wingull. And then probably a Psychic on the Staryu. That should be enough to knock out you. Are you the Love Disc lady? You're the Wingull lady. Well, we know what to do with the Wingull. We Ice Punch. And then we know what to do with the Staryu. Absolute perfect repeat of the last battle. Are you the Love Disc lady? Oh, you've got a Chinchou. Very cool Pokemon. Shame it's in the slow experience group. And you have a Sharpedo. Sharpedo keels over even the slightest of breezes, so we didn't have to use a super effective move there. We chose to use a super effective move to hammer the message home that Sharpedo is not a great Pokemon. Still remember the Pokemon League with a Sharpedo stream in Fire Red about 3 years ago. Maybe even longer. That was a very, very, very tricky old Pokemon League. Kind of wish I knew what I knew now about how Fire Red worked in order to give Sharpedo a better time, but I've really got no desire to play it at the moment. Let's Thunderbolt a couple of Pokemon here as well. Santiago, that's a cool name for cool people. And now we've got Kevin. I believe, and I might be wrong here, but I believe that when France allowed people to pick whatever names they liked, as opposed to having a set list for their children's names, the most popular name the year after was, in fact, Kevin in France, and I think that's brilliant. That is just such a wonderful bit of trivia. This is a Love Disc lady. We'll go easy on her, although I quite often regret going easy on her. We do get through this time, though, and we can do a quick PP heal once again here in Pacific Log. Just the one more trainer I want to take on, and he lives in the sea here. I don't know if he actually lives in the sea, but this is where we can find him, so this is where we're going to battle him. Gilbert's there, and we get the rare candy. Let's try at level 51 and whatever scraps we can get in the Moss Deep gym for the Psychic type gym. I don't have high hopes for this. I think this is going to be our first proper wall. So we are going to take on as many trainers as possible. And of course, one of our strongest moves, Psychic, has been arbitrarily lopped off from being very strong in this, because it's the same type as the trainers we are facing, for the most part anyway. Thunderbolt's still going to put in some work, and we do have super effective Ice Punch for the Claydol, and Claydol can't BS us with Earthquake, so it's not all bad, it's only slightly bad. There's the button for this. Let's do that like that, and then let's go right, and let's take on everybody. I'm feeling like taking on everybody is going to be a sensible play here. So we'll take on Kathleen, and we'll also take on Nicholas. Oh no, it's Wobbuffet. Save state. Safeguard. Phew. Always terrified by Wobbuffet. He's got a Girafarig, so we can Thunderbolt the Girafarig. Absolutely no issue. Can't remember what you've got, though. Have you got something sensible? You've got a Natu. We can Ice Punch the Natu, and that is that for that room. We press this switch twice, and then we come back. We've got 4 more trainers to go. Object Permanence isn't a strength of mine, so I can't tell whether there's 3 or 4, because I can't remember from the last challenge, which wasn't too long ago either. Magic Coat, we don't do statuses in 4 moves. Aha, we don't have an electric type here. An electric type. Why would we have an electric type? Bit of a brain fart there. Starting to feel a little bit of the old run fatigue in this one. This is about the point where we'd get to the Pokemon League in Fire Red, and where we would get to the Silver Cave in a good Crystal challenge. So the fact that we've still got 2 more gym leaders to go, it's a little bit daunting. Anyway, with that said, let's take on Tate and Eliza. They lead with Xatu and Claydol. We are going to get rid of the Xatu straight away. The Xatu is terrifying. The Claydol, not so much because of that. Goodbye, fish. It was nice knowing you. Now, we will try and get rid of the Claydol next. Oof, a critical hit. Not what we want. Let's also equip a Citrus Berry for this battle. We might end up having to go for a little bit of a training session. Not quite sure yet. Maybe the Xatu will set up. Let's try an Ice Punch first. Xatu goes for Psychic. That is ostensibly free. Calm Mind, that's fine. Not so fine now. No. We're going to get another level. I think another level is what we need. And that is because we're not quite in one-shot range of said Claydol at the moment. Do we have any trainers who are handy to battle? That is the question. I'm sure we can find some, starting with this bloke here. Ruben with his Shiftry. We will get rid of his Shiftry, and then we'll also get rid of his Nose Pass. Why have you got a Nose Pass, mate? You're a good trainer if you're a cool trainer. At least that's the in-game lore. You should not be running with a Nose Pass. That's Gym Leader 1 type material, not a good Pokemon. Have I hit a dead end? I've hit a bloody dead end, haven't I? Where do we go? I'm lost. As so often happens, we'll head this way. You never know, we might find somebody. Are you a trainer? You look like a trainer. Can you battle me? Yes, yes you can. You've got a fish. We've got a Psychic for your fish. Well, it's not really a fish. It's a jellyfish. That's not a fish either. You're not a very good fisherman, are you? Wayne, you also gave crap experience. Have you got Love Disc? Nope, you're Staryu. We know what to do against Staryu. We hit Psychic. She's only got one has Caitlyn there. She must be getting her Pokemon in installments. Tentacruel, that's brilliant experience. Give it to us. And you as well. What have you got? A Susan. We'll take on a Susan. I know we can't take on anyone else because that's the way to Victory Road, isn't it? Although we could potentially have unlocked the Fly Point, but I've committed to going backwards now, so we're not going to. Instead, we're going to find some more dribs and drabs of trainers on the way up near Sky Pillar, I think would be a good idea. Have we battled those two? Yes, we have. What about... Nope, that's getting into Sky Pillar. A little bit too soon for that. What about here? Have we done you? Oh, this is the Ogle lady. I'm so sorry people ogle you. I wish there was something I could do. No, I didn't mean to Ice Punch there. I meant to go for Psychic and press the wrong button, that's all. Kara goes down. One more trainer hopefully will do it. Let's see. Or we can just get all the wilds. How about you? What do you have? Anything good? A Wingull? Hopefully Wingle's enough to give us the experience points. Wingull and Tentacruel will be. Let's use a Psybeam on that, a Psychic rather, and we get through. And now we shall teleport all the way back to Moss Deep. No, this is Pacifidlog, for goodness sake. And then we might as well keep our spot in Pacifidlog for now, if I remember, if we don't get beaten up too much by Tate and Liza. Oh, because we've left the gym, we're going to have to do the silly little pressy button things again, aren't we? Oh, that's very annoying, but shouldn't mean too much because we've already beaten all the trainers in here. Let's do it 6 times for good luck. RNG manipulation and all that. That's definitely what I'm doing there, not because I messed up the movement in the slightest. Let's do that, and then that, and then that, and that, and that. And then that, and here we are at Tate and Liza again. Take number 2. Leading with Claydol and Xatu. Let's get rid of the Claydol first. Yes, we do one shot now. Because Xatu's probably going to go for the fish, hopefully. Yes, that's good. That means we can get rid of Xatu, and we're on to Solrock and Lunatone. Sunny Day, we don't mind that. Oh, Hypnosis is bad. Hypnosis is really bad. Do we have a Wake Yourself Up berry? That is the question. What would a Wake Yourself berry up be? A Chesto berry. Of course you have Resto Chesto. 3rd time's the charm with this motley crew of 2 trainers. At least we've got the opening nailed down. We get rid of the Claydol, and then we get rid of Xatu on the next turn. I think that's the play. Because the Xatu will go for the fish. And then we get rid of the Xatu. On to Solrock and Lunatone. That Lunatone is setting up. I don't want it to set up, so let's use a Thunderbolt here. It's setting up even more. That's terrifying. It didn't set up last time. It went for Sunny Day. What the hell has changed, is the question. So we Ice Punch the Claydol. That's what we start off with. And then we go for the Lunatone next. Not the Lunatone, the Xatu. 1 hit on that. Onto the Solrock. Hypnosis missed. That's good. Thunderbolt the Lunatone. Oh, Psychic does a lot of damage there. And yep. Oof. Might need to get more levels again. I knew this was going to be tough. I didn't think it would be this tough, though. Let's try once more and hope for a bit of luck. If not, then we will have to go and get levels. Thunderbolt the Claydol. Not the Claydol. The Xatu. Going to try it the other way around now. See if that makes any difference. Let's try and get rid of this Solrock straight away. We crit. That's good. Claydol uses Psychic. We'll Ice Punch the Claydol and hope that the Lunatone... We ranged. I'm getting more levels. Call it overkill, but I've got up to level 57. Let's see if this makes any difference at all. Let's start off with the Thunderbolt on the Xatu. Get rid of that straight away, as hopefully this Claydol will use Earthquake. That gets rid of the fish, and we can move on to the Claydol with an Ice Punch now. Get rid of that. Out comes Solrock and Lunatone. Let's try a Thunderbolt on the Solrock. Psychic still does a lot of damage. Get rid of, hopefully, both of them. Nope. Oh, I don't know what to do here, quite honestly. There's probably a correct play, and I'm not making it. Let's get rid of the Claydol first this time. See if that makes any difference, because I'm assuming she's going to go for the Xatu there. For the Magikarp, rather. What can we do? Thunderbolt on that. We wake up, and then Thunderbolt the Xatu because it calm-minded. Oh, we're a bloody sleep again. We only have one Chesto Berry. We've got to try and make it bloomin' last. Let's Ice Punch the Claydol. We know we can get rid of that. Oh, Tate and Liza are always going to be horrible for something weak to Psychic. Then let's Thunderbolt the Soul Rock. We've paralyzed it. That would be good if, like, it meant anything. It did get fully paralyzed, though. Try and get rid of the Lunatone. No. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do at this battle. I am a little bit stumped. Everything I'm seeming to try just is not working. Let's try targeting the Soul Rock. It goes straight in for Psychic. They both do. Wonderful. So we need about 18 different berries in order to get through this. And I don't want to have to deal with freeze strats. But we might have to deal with freeze strats on this one, unfortunately. Struggling to see any other way out of it at the moment. There is probably a way that's staring me in the face that I just cannot see for love nor money at the moment. Thunderbolt the Lunatone. Thunderbolt the Lunatone again. Psychic takes us down to 22. Oh, one more level. One more level and I think we might be able to one-shot the Soul Rock. Trouble is, we're running out of people to train up against. I think any hope of getting top spots has now gone as well. Because we've still got the Sky Pillar, we've got the Water Gym, the Elites Four and Steven all left to go. But stranger things have happened. Not very often, but they have happened. So we'll still keep on persevering, playing our best. Just vastly underestimated Tate and Liza in this one. I didn't think they'd be this much of a problem. I knew they'd be bad. I didn't think they'd be this bad. I would have taken on extra trainers earlier on had I known they were this bad, so we didn't have to do quite as much of a grind. Just shows, though, a double battle is brutal when you're in a solo challenge. Let's try again. Tate and Liza leading with this horrible pair of Pokemon. Get rid of Claydol. It gets out of here. Soul Rock comes out. We are going to try Thunderbolting the Soul Rock. We get the one shot. Calm Mind on that, so we get rid. And now we just have a Lunatone. It has Calm Minded, but we should hopefully get the victory this time. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. But maybe we bloody do. Thank goodness for that. Mind badge acquired. We're out of Tate and Liza Purgatory. That whole badge split was longer than the rest of the challenge combined up until this point. That is absolutely friggin' ridiculous. And now we've got the bloody Steven battle. I hate this battle. It gets worse, doesn't it? At least we're done with that. And we'll be done with Magma after this, hopefully. Because we have this, and then they leave. And then we've got the one battle with Archie. And then we should be good for the final part of this challenge. We'll get through it together. We have to. We're committed now. The only way is up. We're going to be dealing with our final scraps of rubbish Pokemon at this point. Then we can all go home and call it an intermediately bad job. It was a good job apart from one gym leader. And sometimes that happens. Politoed got a 118. I don't think we're beating Politoed's time. I don't know what time Heracross got. Can I find it while we're doing this? That is the question. Heracross got a 128, so I don't think we're getting 118. 128 is still in the question, though. Have we still got our Sacrifice? Yes, we have. I think I know the issue with it. I think it's because it's leveling up. And I think I'll try and get rid of the level 5 Magikarp. It's been a while since I've coded that. So I can't say for sure, but that's my current line of thinking. We'll get rid of Mightyena because it's Dark type. Then we'll get rid of Crobats because we've got a super effective move. We will then have 2 camera-ups on screen. We'll use Psychic on this one. And then we only have 1 camera-up on screen. And this is where we need Matang to actually do something useful, and it won't. We can then Psychic the Golbat, and that is almost that. We've got this Mightyena left as well. Now that is that. We defeat them. We're in the home straight now. Not too much more left to do. We need to go and chat with Stephen at home. Must not forget to chat with Stephen at home. We forgot to do that in the last one. And Stephen lives over here, doesn't he? Just like that. So we get Dive and the diving board. That does mean we can now get to Sootopolis City. I like getting to Sootopolis City first. Don't know why. Bit of superstition. Bit of I remember how to get there sometimes. Oh, shut up. We don't care. We've already been delayed. So we go in there. We'll pop our head out. We'll also set our TP spot to here, because we can get a PP heal at the same time. Then we'll fly back to Moss Deep, and we'll go and try and find the Team Aqua base. Hopefully that won't be too much of an endeavour. Do we have a rappel on? Yes, we do. Now we don't. Brilliant. Would have been nice if I'd have done that a few steps later. I think down here and then it's to left, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking, although maybe not. Then again, maybe it is. At least I'm starting to remember where stuff is in this game. It's taken long enough, but I do now vaguely remember. I thought I stuck a rappel on. Maybe I didn't. Oh, we don't have time for you. Leave me alone. Strength puzzle time. I like strength puzzles, because they're one of the very few things I can do. Right, in here we go here. Then we go... No, we don't go there. We go there, there, and there. It's just that one bit of gut instincts that I keep getting wrong there. But that's better than we have been. Let's get through that puzzle. One last strength puzzle left to go. And we do this, 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 this. I've messed that up, haven't I, by accidentally bonking that one twice. So let's not bonk that one twice. Let's instead bonk it once. Because then we do that, and that, and that. And now we have the final Archie battle. Remember to avert your gaze after this battle. He leads with Mightyena. We'll use Thunderbolt on the Mightyena. It goes away. We'll use Thunderbolt on the Crobat. It also goes away. We'll use Thunderbolt on the Sharpedo. It leaves. Avert your gaze. Horrible red orb coming in. Kyogre's angry. I'm angry at Tate and Liza still as well. But we are in the home straight for this one. Let's go and have a chat now with Stephen. He is going to tell us to go to Sootopolis. And we'll be like, aha, we can go to Sootopolis. Land, CCC. Yes, we get the gist. This is our third one in a row. We know what's going on. You don't need to do this cutscene. Let's go in here, have a little PP heal, and then we'll go and chat straight with Stephen. He's going to take us into his private cave for reasons as yet unknown. And then we'll go and chat with Wallace in here. Wallace has an upgrade to his storyline versus the original Generation 3 games in Ruby and Sapphire. I don't particularly care for this upgrade because I don't particularly care for Wallace and his silly hat. Let's go to the Sky Pillar next. That sounds like a very good idea. So let's escape rope out of here. And then let's Balloon over to Pacific Log once more, so that we can then go and have a little chat with the cat-napping Rayquaza. Oh, no, before we do that, one more thing we need to do, and that is say, goodbye, fish. Level 9, you gained 4 levels in that, even though you're in slow. Well done, you, but we've got no need for you anymore. We've got no more mandatory double battles. I will eventually learn to code it so that we only have one Pokemon in there. For now, we're just going to have to deal with a fish. And having a fish for one battle isn't the worst thing in the world, because they do have 2 Pokemon. So it's only fair that we get a Sacrifish for a free turn. Or at least that's what I'm trying to justify to myself anyway. Whether you agree or not, it's up for your better judgment. But that's what we are doing here in this challenge, because there's no way to force them to only target us. Wake up, Rayquaza. Let me be out of Hoenn Purgatory in this challenge. Rentalabra all the way back to... That's the wrong place. Of course, we healed, didn't we, in Pacific Log? rental Abra, and then fly back to Setopolis. Land, land, sea, sea. How about sky? There we go. Rayquaza's come to save the day, as he often does. He screams, and that makes them retreat because they're both noise sensitive like me. And that means we can now have a little admonishment time. So we'll talk to the gym sign first. Then we'll talk to both of these, tell them off. They leave. We get HMO 7. We get the ladder. And that means we can go into our last gym. Let's not mess up the puzzle now. Let's try and go like the absolute clappers through here. The puzzle's not hard. Doing it at 4 times speed is difficult though, because I seem to be double stepping a lot in this challenge. Let's take on one. He doesn't deserve a title card. He leads with Love Disc. Goodbye, Love Disc. We're not even going to bother humouring you. We are going to use an Ice Punch on the Whiscash, and then we'll use a Psychic. Then we've got Crawdaunt. That will be a Thunderbolt. It will leave. Next Pokemon is Kingdra. Thunderbolt. Ice Beam doesn't freeze us. You don't get that kind of BS like twice. Get rid of the Celio, and that is that for 1. Rain Badge in 1:21:06. Not too bad. A little bit disappointed at how long Tate and Liza took, but it was always going to be a bad battle, wasn't it, really? And that means we are now on the way to Victory Road. Let's go to Moss Deep, because I know how to get to Victory Road from Moss Deep. Stick on a Max Repel, and let's keep on going there. You've got to go west to go east, I seem to remember that. Now, we've been here twice, so we should be able to make our way there fairly easily. Yes, we are able to. Max Repel, we've got plenty of those now for the rest of the challenge. Up we go, and into Victory Road, where, you know that thing we said to Wally? He's kind of taken us up on it, so let's take him on. Ice Punches Altaria, get rid of that. Up next is Gardevoir, Thunderbolt that. Future Sight, that's fine, it's typeless-ish. Anyway, get rid of Delcatty. We take the Future Sight attack, but it failed. Get rid of the Magneton, and then we'll get rid of Roselia. And I tell you what, that Roselia was so good, let's take on a second one. Hope has a Roselia as well, getting us up to 62. Not too bad. This is the second of 2 times we used the Lantern in this challenge, and now we've got to try and navigate through Victory Road. Seem to remember this Rock Smash Boulder being useful. You would think, seeing as this is my 3rd challenge today here in Emerald, I'd know my way around, but I'm still just guessing. That's what I do. I don't have the ability to memorize routes and paths in games like this. It's just beyond my capabilities for some reason. So I have to wing it. I don't even know if we go that way or not, do we? Yes, we do. I think I got stuck here last time as well. It's fine. We are not going to concern ourselves with that. Instead, we're going to take on Sandslash. Ninetales is annoying there, but it doesn't mean too much. And then we've got Tropius. We can Ice Punch that. Very nice ending there. Now, this is the Double Waterfall section, isn't it? I think I know how to do the Double Waterfall section. I hope I know how to do the Double Waterfall section, because otherwise I'm going to make a right dick of myself, and I don't want to. I want to get through the rest of this challenge fairly quickly now. We've had our hold up. With any luck, we'll get no more resets. I don't think that's going to happen, but if we send it into the ether, it might then come true. That's what I'm banking on at this point anyway. Maybe we'll even get up to level 53. Pelipper loves using Protect, and we do not get up to level 53. So let's try and get a single encounter at some point, but I will do that off camera because we are now at the Pokemon League. Going to buy a bunch of full restores, then going to do a heal, and I'll meet back up you. So I have picked up all the rest of the items, namely the remaining rare candies. I've dumped them all in. Let's see how we go. We're going into this Pokemon League at level 77. Our first league member is going to be Sydney. He leads with Mightyena. We are going to Thunderbolt the Mightyena, and it goes down. Up next is Shiftry. We'll use Ice Punch on that, and then we'll also use Ice Punch on Cacturn. The next Pokemon is Crawdaunt. That's a simple one hit. And we move on to Absol. A one-shot seals Absol's fate, and we can move on to Phoebe. We have the type advantage against Sydney, but we couldn't really tell. Let's see how we get on against Phoebe. She's stalling to get started. Always lovely to see. 1 hit on the Dusclops, 1 hit on the first bayonet, and 1 hit on the second bayonet as well. Not going to be a 1 hit on this Dusclops, and we do take some damage. Nothing too much to be concerned about. We get through very easily there without too much to worry about. And now we have Glacier. Going to hold on to the charcoal for this. And then we're going to use a couple of soda pops. And we're going to use a max ether on Thunderbolt. Glacier is our 3rd Elite 4 member. She's an Ice-type specialist, leads with Celio. 1 hit on the Celio. Let's then use a Fire Punch. On the Glalie, it goes down. She sends out her second one, and we get rid of it as well. 2 more Water types now. This is what we like to see. Goodbye to that Celio, and goodbye to Wellrain as well. Easy Glacier. And I don't think Drake is going to put up too much resistance either. He's going to lead with his Shelgon. Ice Punch is going to make light work of the Shelgon. It's also going to make very light work of the Salamence because Ice is still special. Quad Weakness has Flygon going down in 1. And the same for Altaria. The last Pokemon is Kingdra. And we're not quite one-hitting with Thunderbolt. But we're doing a lot of damage here regardless. 2 more hits gets rid of it. And that is Drake defeated. That means we've only got 1 obstacle between us and the Hall of Fame. And that is going to be everyone's favourite trainer, Wallace. He's going to lead with his Walrein. And we're going to get rid of it straight away. Growing up to level 79 in the process. The fish is next. I was not expecting the fish. What can the fish really do? Nothing. Tentacruel, what can you do? Zilch. Milotic? No, Ludicolo next. He could Leech Seed us, or we could just crit. We can Thunderbolt the Gyarados, absolutely no doubt about that. And then 2-3 Thunderbolts on the Milotic, of course. He can't poison us, can he? The silly Billy. We have an immunity to poison. We're just going to make him run out of full restores here because I cannot be bothered pressing any other button. And we get through first try. Hopefully, the bad days have gone now for Gengar. We're going to be just over 1.5 hours getting through the Hall of Fame here. Let's pause it. 1:30:05. I'm now going to make my way over to Meteor Falls, and we'll meet back up for Stephen. And so we have made it into Stephen's room. I decided to try and scrape together a little bit more experience, so we're going in at level 81, because I am terrified of his Metagross. We seem to have a couple of Pokemon before we even get to the Metagross, though. Claydol goes for Reflect after Skarmory there. Let's see how much does Fire Punch do. Not a bloody lot. And then we get completely beaten up by a Shadow Ball. We might have to play for Freeze or something here, you know. I'm not too sure. Psychic types really are our Achilles heel here. I am learning very quickly that you need quite a bit of bulk in Hoenn to get through easily. I'm going to play for a Freeze on this Metagross. Is it sensible? Probably not. Is it the only idea I've got? Yes. It's a 1 in 10, hopefully, of that happening. And then we've got, is it a 1 in 10 of it healing each turn? Maybe a 1 in 5. We freeze the wrong Pokemon to get us started. If we get hit by Shadow Ball, it's game over. It's as simple as that, really. So we do have to be very, very, very careful here. I don't particularly want to have to run through the league again with our Gengar, although if needs must, I will. Maybe he'll go for Meteor Mash and miss, who knows. There are options. I do think, at least in this one, I picked the 4 most suitable moves for the 4 moves challenge. I don't think any other move really would have done us well at all. We've burnt it. We got a Spadef drop. Of course we got a Spadef drop. Let's see how bad the rest of this battle is, though. We'll Ice Punch the Cradley. Ancient Power. At least no Omni Boost, I suppose. Armaldo's next. Ancient Power knocks out. Of course it does. Ugh, the trouble with being a glass cannon is you're a glass cannon. Even Stillwing there is doing an awful lot of damage. Thunderbolt the Skarmory, get rid of that. Back onto the Claydol. We know we can get rid of that with 2 Ice Punches, and Reflect means nothing. I'm going to go for the Freeze again. Nope, he missed. He didn't miss his Meteor Mash. Why would he miss his Meteor Mash? That would be too kind. We aren't battling the first Pokemon at the very least. We've frozen the wrong Pokemon. On to the Metagross. Psychic does a lot of damage. I'm just going to have to play for Freeze. I don't even think a couple of levels would help here, because we're nowhere near a damage range on it. So, yeah, just play for Freeze and hope for the best. We'll eventually get it. Don't know when, but we will. And that is how we're going to have to end this challenge, unfortunately. Gengar has been really good, except for 2 places. Tate and Liza, and then against this Metagross. And the feature, the factor that combines both of those, the common factor, is it's a Psychic type with strong special attacks. Or in the case of Tate and Liza, I suppose, Psychic types that can deal a lot of damage. Now, we know from the last challenge as well that this Metagross absolutely detests being statused. So it could take a while for the Freeze to come in. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's 1 in 10. So you'd expect after 10 resets, we would get a Freeze on the Metagross. I don't think that's going to be how this pans out in the slightest. We are only battling 4 Pokemon though, because it seems like that Claydol is consistently going for Reflect. So we don't need to worry about the Claydol. We do, however, need to worry about the Ancient Power that come afterwards. Let's try again and see if we get a Freeze. We don't, so we reset. It's going to be just like this until we get the luck. I don't know when the luck's going to come. You don't know when the luck's going to come. It will eventually happen. We've frozen the wrong Pokemon again. Just what we wanted to see. Fun, isn't it? Don't you just love one pseudo-legendary coming in to ruin your day? That's what we've got with this Metagross. And once again, we have not frozen it, so we have to take another bloomin' reset. I think playing for the Freeze is going to be more consistent as well than playing for a Meteor Mash miss, because it's very rare that he's going for Meteor Mash, and it's even rarer that it will miss. Plus, I can just keep hold of Ice Punch here. And you'd think, in how many resets has it been? 18? You'd think we'd get the Freeze off it once in this time, but no, we do not. We can freeze the Claydol, we can even crit the Claydol rather. But no, we cannot freeze the Metagross in the slightest. I think Metagross can be frozen. As far as I know, it's not an Ice type. So therefore, it should be able to be frozen. It's just choosing not to out of spite. There we go, we've frozen it. Fire Punch it. We're through on full health. This is good. Ice Punch the Cradley. Ancient Power, no Omni Boost. That's good. 160 odd for the next 161. What's our best move here? Psychic Spadef drop, maybe? Oh, Psychic again? No Thunderbolt this time, maybe. Yes, we're through. Aggron is the last Pokemon. Fire Punch it. Thunder misses. I think we're through. We are through. 1:46:14 for Gengar here in Pokémon Emerald. That's not a brilliant time, I will concede. But that is the time we got. It was 1:46:14 for Gengar in Pokémon Emerald's 4 Moves Challenge. Let's put it on the leaderboard now. We are in 6th place. It is our slowest 4 Moves Challenge, unfortunately. I always think it was going to do quite badly because of the way this generation is for glass cannons, unfortunately. We are still ahead of all of our old regular timed challenges, and that does mean we have a full first page of the leaderboard. We have made it to 10 Emerald challenges at long blummin' last. Our first Emerald challenge, by the way, was the 24th of September 2024. So yes, it's taken a while to get up to 10, but now we have With that though, we're done for another challenge. I hope you've had fun. If you have, please do think about subscribing to the channel. For now though, I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching, as I always do. Like I say at the end of every video, these videos are not possible without your support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to listen to me waffle for an hour or so. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever it is you're getting up to. If you're now going to bed, sweet dreams, and I will catch you all in the next one.